This is a velvet ant, but it's in the wasp family actually. Another name we know it by in our neck of the woods is cow killer. They don't mess with you unless you mess with them. So, you know what? Let's look at some plants. Hi, I'm Sarah. If you're new here, yay, welcome. If you're not new here, gosh, thank you so much for watching. This is Rainbow Gardens on Bandera Road in San Antonio, Texas. I went with a friend. Isn't this a beautiful trailing herb? This is Kent Beauty Oregano, and I feel like it ticks all the boxes when it comes to outdoor plants that I really like. It's a hybrid oregano, and it's known for its cascading leaves and flowers. And my friend and I loved it so much, we had to go look for a pot, and everyone else must know it too because there were none in stock. But such a beautiful plant. This is another one that was trailing really nicely. It is I'm not even going to try to say that, but it is Bellissimo. I can't go to Rainbow Gardens without checking out the tropical greenhouse. So I had to go in, and I'm going to show you all the Sansevieria that they had in stock. One of these is the Kirkii copper tone. I'm probably saying that wrong. My apologies. But the bronze to copper tone leaves are so gorgeous, and apparently the color gets deeper when it gets more sun. So that might be something I'm going to need to add to my wish list eventually. Kind of like a bronze plant statue. I like it a lot. Rainbow Gardens always has a really impressive selection of Sansevieria. Or Dracaena. Okay, I know it's a Dracaena. But I think there's like probably 8 different types just in this little section. Hi, friend. This is a huge Hoya pubicalyx. It is ginormous, and it seems like it's blooming every time I visit. One time I visited, and there were a couple of butterflies just fluttering around it, living their best lives, and I can't wait for my Hoyas to get huge like that. Here's another one. I mean, it's a common snake plant, but those yellow highlights, you gotta admit, they are stunning. And then the Sansevieria moon whale fin. I like that it has the copper edging, but the other thing that I had read online about is that it's called the moon whale fin because it has like silvery like flecks, and so they're shimmery. I don't see the shimmer, but I really dig the color. Here's another great little succulent. Not only was it sunstressed, but it was blooming. Those cute little like Tinkerbell shaped flowers. So cute. And then this is a jade plant, a huge one. It was like $125, I think, but it was a really, really big one. They have a lot of, they have some impressive succulents outside. In the back is a fire sticks, I believe. This is a plant that I always love to see. It's called the Mexican Rose Fairy Duster. It's a native shrub, and it can handle the brutal summers here. It's known to bloom almost year-round, so the pollinators love it, which means that I would love it too. I do think I would like to eventually add this to my flower garden as I expand the borders, but I'm not ready yet. I love Rainbow Gardens so much, and plant browsing with a friend just adds another layer of awesomeness. So thank you, friend, for going with me to Rainbow Gardens. I do want to show you some propagation wins. I have been experimenting with some different plants that I've tried to propagate but didn't work out, and one of them is Jasmine Sambac. That's my favorite type of jasmine. In fact, when I was at Rainbow Gardens, I bought one. It was $11.99, And I love it. I love it so much. It does die back in the winter because it does get cold enough here for it to kind of die back, but it always comes back from the roots every year. And I've found that the flowers are just amazing. So of course I would want to propagate it because I love flowers. So I'm going to show you the win first. And this is it. So this has 3 cuttings in this container. It's just like a standard container that we lost the lid to. And this is a Le Creuset utensil holder. I am misusing it as something else. I got it at Goodwill for $4. And I've just been I've had this in the window in my laundry room where it only gets morning sun. But when you see the roots on this thing, you're going to, I'm shocked because it's been like a month and like 3 days. Because it was May the 29th when I took these cuttings. Look at that. That's impressive, right? I am just so excited that I found a new place to propagate cuttings. And to be able to share this with friends is going to be awesome. Because everybody needs Jasmine Sambac in their life. So morning sun in a window, on a windowsill, with this like DIY cloche setup. It worked really good. And I think what works with this is that the lip of the container fits really good with the lip of this container. So I really like cloches and stuff like that because I like the whole conservatory look. So I'm excited of the progress of this. And I'll slowly maybe let it rest from the humidity so I can get it used to ambient. Now I have another one. This is the other Jasmine Sambac. It doesn't really look that great. There are 2 cuttings. I think I originally had 3 cuttings in this one and one of them died. But I've had it in this. This is a vase from Goodwill. I flipped it upside down onto a saucer from a planter. And I like the way they look. I think it's cool. It's my aesthetic that I like. Now this one doesn't have like a ton of roots, but it does have roots and I can see them here. You see the roots there? Let me see. And there's some more roots. They're not as substantial as the other one that was only getting morning sun. This one was sitting on the window right here. There is a slight ledge over my window, so that's not going to get a lot of sun. It mostly gets really sunny in here in the late afternoon. And then I also moved it at one point under my grow lights, and I think maybe that's what has helped it stimulate root growth. But this plant might have been focusing on making flowers instead of roots because it's about to flower. Do you see that? So I'm not mad about it at all. I am super excited that I'm going to be able to have some flowers in here. So that's Jasmine Sambac. My propagation wins. I'm so excited because I have tried to propagate this before. I actually tried to air layer it. That didn't work. So now that I've found like a tried and true way to propagate it, I will definitely be propagating these plants more often. The other plant that I was propagating is Almond Verbena. I've talked about it quite a few times on my channel, but it is a native plant here that smells really amazing and the pollinators love it. And it's called Almond Verbena because it smells like sweet almond oil. It has like a cherry perfumey smell, but like very pleasant, not overpowering. And every time I walk into the backyard, I'm smelling that now. And this is my 3rd season, I believe, to have the Almond Verbena. So it's really happy and well established now. So this is out of 4 cuttings. This is one of the 2 that survived past like the 2nd week. It was an ambient. It's not alive anymore. Yeah, it's dead. It's not alive. And it's not from lack of water. It just didn't do good. And that's okay. Let me see. Oh, it does have some resistance, so maybe it did. No, there's no roots. No, there's no roots, so no, it didn't do anything. But I did have another cutting inside a glass jar under my grow lights on this shelf behind me, and it's doing good. It did lose 2 leaves, so it lost a leaf there and a leaf there. It doesn't really feel very rooted, but it is making new leaves, so you know what? I'll take what I can get. Hopefully it roots and I can figure out a good way to root these plants. I did put rooting hormone on them. I know that some people are like, oh, they don't need it. I've figured what's the harm in using rooting hormone, so we'll see what happens. Give that a couple more weeks. But I feel like those were some propagation wins, because even if you lose the cuttings, you're still learning about your plants and about growing plants, and to me that's awesome. I also got this. This is a dwarf powder puff, red powder puff bonsai. I got this from Rainbow Gardens. It doesn't have any flowers right now. It has like a little, it's gonna bloom again. It has some, these are not, I don't think these are called peduncles. They're probably called something else. But I love, they had this as a full grown tree in the tropical greenhouse here at the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, and I just loved seeing that tree because it's just reminded me, the flowers reminded me of a smaller version of the Ohia lehua, a tree that only grows native in Hawaii. So now I have a little bonsai. I did buy this, it was impulsive. I saw it and I read $13.99 and I was like, that's gonna be mine. And then my friend was like, oh, that's $31.99. And by then I was like, I'm in a committed relationship with this tree already. I have to get it. So I went ahead and got it. And anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how well it grows. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all I have to share with y'all today, but I am excited on the prospects of propagating more plants so that I can share them with my friends. Isn't that the best thing about being able to propagate plants, is you can share them with friends? My first experience propagating was probably like 25 years ago, and it was a Colin-Coe. I propagated it, and that's when I realized, hey, I could make more plants from plants. Isn't that cool? It's such a cool thing. Anyways, I'd love to hear what you guys are experimenting with when it comes to propagating. And I hope y'all have a great day or evening or morning or wherever you are today, and enjoy all the planty things. Bye.